All right, we're back here with David, and we're talking about this new Wasco-Mat machine that just got installed by our friends at Automated Laundry. And David, so where does Wasco-Mat come from? Comes from where?
Sweden.
Swedish. Very good. All right. All right, so what do we need to know about the Wasco-Mat? And this is the Wasco-Mat WLD 720CO. Okay, so this is a little bit different than our other one, which was a 630CO.
Yep.
So, all right, so tell us about this one.
So it's the same capacity as the other machine. It's a 30-pound machine. Sorry. So they're both 30-pound machines. The only difference is the setup on the front. The computers are pretty much the same. They operate about the same. So first thing, you want to push on the door just a little bit, turn the handle to the left, and you can open your door. Now, you would load up the clothes, typically like the other one. Close the door, put a little pressure, turn until it clicks, and it's locked, it's shut. Then you would come over, select the cycle, whichever cycle you choose. In this case, we'll just do a test program. Once you have the cycle you want, press the start button, door will lock, the machine will start filling, and away it goes.
So where would you put in, David, where would you put in the detergent?
Detergent? So up here in the back corner, this is for liquid detergent, liquid softener.
Okay, so show me, where does the liquid go?
Liquid detergent, liquid softener.
Okay.
And then if you have a powder detergent on either one. One's a pre-wash, so one about now will be a pre-wash. As soon as you start the machine, you can have a pre-wash in there. For the most part, you want to put it in the second one. That's a main wash. So
okay.
it'll get put in about halfway through the cycle. Well,
so we don't do any powder soap here at Dayspring Village. So we would close this one off and only use this back one for liquid.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So if you need to, if something's caught in the door or the front seal is leaking or anything like that, or you want to hit the start button and scroll down to end program. Press the start button, the machine will drain, you'll hear it click, and it'll tell you on the screen when the door is able to be opened.
Okay, so how would you stop it again? Let's go back over that again.
Yeah, so while the machine's running, if you need to get back into the machine, if something's caught in the door, or it's making any kind of a weird vibration that shouldn't be going on, you press the start button, scroll down to end program, press the button again, and the machine will stop rotating, drain itself, and then it'll unlock the door. And then you can put back in whatever you need to be done, or if you need to call somebody, call us, and we'll come out and take a look at it.
So roughly how long does this machine take to process a load of laundry?
Rough cycle, about 30-45 minutes.
30-45 minutes, okay.
Depending on the cycle.
Okay.
Some cycles that are a little longer, they'll have more pre-washes. But this machine will tell you all the times up front before you even start the cycle.
Okay, and so there's an extractor in this that will, it has an extractor mode?
Yes, there is a rinse and extract. So you can scroll over whichever way. You can go left or right until you find the program. There's a rinse and extract, so if you need to run just a quick load in there just to rinse it off, maybe there's too much soap in it or whatever the case may be, you can load it up, shut the door, press the start button, it'll rinse it, run a cycle, and then it'll extract the water, and then you can put it back in the dryer or whatever you're doing.
Okay, all right. So what other modes do we have here? We have rinse.
Quite a lot. So there's, starting at the back at the beginning, sheets, white sheets, white heavy soil. So anything that could be included with sheets too if it has a heavy soil.
What would you use white heavy soil for?
Sheets, or terry towels. Anything that's white in color that would typically have a heavy soil to it, greasy, very dirty, mud. I mean, pretty much anything. So it just adds a couple of pre-washes and a couple of rinses at the end.
Okay.
So a white terry for your towels.
Okay.
Colored sheets. So any colored sheets. color terry, bath towels, things like that. Rags and mops, pretty self-explanatory on that one. You know, microfibers, anything like that. Blankets and spreads. So typically you can do small comforters, small blankets with that, any kind of little spreadsheets, housekeeping, uniforms, if you guys do your own uniform washing, if you have uniforms. A rewash, so if you see that there's still some soap in there, you can run it through a rewash cycle, it'll go real quick, probably about 20 or 30 minutes on that one. Enzymes, that's more for chemical, so that's probably not, I'll probably have to take down. Enzymes heavy, if you're using, this is more a bleach category, or a detergent that has a lot more cleaning power, so if you really needed something to get, you know, take a big stain out, or any kind of soiled material, that'd probably be the way to go. White Visa, that's kind of like chef's coats, so I know you guys aren't doing any of that. Delicates, so anything, you know, men's clothing, women's clothing, you know, just any kind of delicates. You got a down comforter or something like that, you don't want it to explode in the washing machine, you can throw that in there. And we're back to rinse and extract.
Okay.
And then that's a test program for us when we come to service the machine.
Okay. Is there any kind of special sounds or other kinds of early symptoms that the machine might, we should be on the alert for that might indicate that it's...
Again, like the dryer, so if you hear any scraping noises, like the nails on a chalkboard or just a scrape, you know, an intermittent scrape, you'd want to stop the machine, open the door, and check inside the drum here, and you'll see all the perforated holes through the drum. Make sure there's nothing stuck in there.
Okay.
Screws, knives, forks, I mean anything can get stuck in these holes and cause damage to the outer drum. This is the inner drum, what's behind this is an outer drum. So any kind of debris that isn't dirt or anything that can wash through there, you want to remove that. Again too, it goes along with checking clothing or checking pockets. Stuff, even though the door is shut and it closes about that far in, stuff can still go in between these two drums and go down and clog the drain. I mean, I've seen butter knives, credit cards, under bra, under wires, all kinds of stuff in there. So you want to just make sure there's no loose metal objects, any kind of object that's foreign. You want to remove those before putting anything in the machine, because they will eventually find their way into the drum holes or get stuck in the bottom of the drain.
So what about maintenance? What about what do we need to do to try to keep it working properly and keeping it functioning to a good standard?
Well, the good thing about Wasco, they're pretty low maintenance. So checking the belt every once in a while. There's a back panel on the machine. They don't go out very often. Again, they can last a very long time.
So where's the belt at?
The belt is behind here. So the main pulley is up here, but you would remove all the screws on the side. There's screws on the bottom.
Right.
And there's a couple of screws here on the top. This panel will pull away. And then there'll be a belt back there. You can check for any fractures or breaks.
Okay, so it's going to be back here.
Behind
right?
that panel, yep.
Behind this panel right here,
yep,
right?
Correct.
Okay.
And you just want to make sure it's, you know, you'll know because the drum won't turn if the belt is broken.
Okay.
But, you know, every once in a while, about quarterly, check and make sure there's no like a burn mark in it, like it was spinning but the belt wasn't turning. Any kind of cracks in it, so you can kind of like bend it and see hairline cracks in it. You want to make, you know, dry rotting almost. You want to make sure that there's none of that going on, because that will cause a belt snap as well.
So is there any are there any issues with the equipment itself in terms of maintenance, in terms of how often we should have it inspected? Or
again, quarterly, just making sure, you know, checking the drain underneath, making sure there's nothing causing a clog or causing it not to close and let water into the machine.
So you mentioned a drain underneath. Where would that be?
It's behind this front panel, right on the bottom of the drum.
So so we should remove this front panel?
Yes, there's just two T30 screws there.
Yeah.
The panel will drop down a little bit and just pull it away.
Okay, so we should, there's a drain there?
There's a drain under there. It's probably better to call us unless you have someone that's experienced with it.
Okay.
But it kind of looks like an upside down plunger. So it pushes up and seals the drum so the water can come in, and then it'll open back up when it's going to drain. If there's something blocking it from moving in either direction, either the machine won't fill with water or it won't drain at all.
Okay, so and that should be probably inspected how often?
Quarterly.
Quarterly?
Quarterly, yep.
Okay. And so, so it's important to inspect that and check on that. Is there any other things that are important to know about the machine?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, leaving the door cracked so you can get airflow in there and not constantly have a pinch on that door gasket. But basically, more for mildew and things like that, so that the moisture can escape out of there. Leaving it shut, you'll have an issue with getting possibly rusting the bottom here on the drum, on the painted surface on the outer part of the panel. It'll cause mildew and mold on the gasket and in the drum, inner and outer drum.
So we see this one over here is closed.
Yeah, so you want to leave those open.
Yeah, so you want to leave that open?
This machine's a little older, so you're getting a little bit of corrosion and mildew there.
This one was put in back in 2009, 2010. So you can see that that it's having a little wear and tear.
It's a little musty.
Huh?
It's a little musty.
So I need to keep that door open, huh?
Yeah. If you could just leave it cracked, it's fine.
Okay.
As long as it has enough air, for air to.
Any sensitivity about the door and making sure the door's not being?
Yeah, don't slam it. Be gentle with it. Just push it up against tightly with your hand.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of pull itself in as you close the door.
Gotcha. All right.
No need to slam it and force it closed. Just be gentle with it.
And it'll
fingers is all it takes.
It'll take care of it. Okay.
At the end of the day too, along with leaving the door cracked, it's recommended. You see, there's water still left on the front glass.
Right.
Wipe the seal off with a rag and wipe the glass off. And sometimes from the heat of of hot water, moisture will build up at the top of these lids. So at the end of the day, flip them up, wipe the soapbox area, both sides, front and back of them, just to make sure there's no moisture left in the top of these.
Okay, so that's probably same over here too, right?
Yeah.
Those need to be wiped down.
A little bit of moisture, not too bad.
Yeah.
Right there, see?
Yeah.
That's what you don't want.
Yeah.
Because then it starts eating the rods that are in there, and it'll cause rust on the bottom.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that's getting once we'll get that wiped down. Okay, very good. All right, David, anything else?
That's it.
That's it. All right, David. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to the staff using this here at Dayspring Village. Thank you so much for explaining it all.
You're very welcome.
All right.